amazing, amazing Monday. Hope everything y'all done got set up to y'all done got accomplished. Shout out to everybody joining the live. That was supposed to be almost like a bank shot. That was the worst though. That was the worst. That was the worst. Shots are off today, man. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hopefully everybody is situated. Let me just get this on here. I got one more live to get on real quick. I don't know how I didn't get on this live. Maybe I tried to go live on IG multiple times. Shout out to y'all. I'm sorry about down here. We're going to get this other live up in here. We have 6 different platforms up today. I want to make sure everybody's in here. And we're going to get this party started. Shout out to everybody. Hope y'all having a amazing Monday. Hope everything y'all done set out to do, y'all done got accomplished. Got one more second, got one more live to get up in here. If you're new to my live and your first time ever being on, put a 1 in the chat. Want to see who all we got up in here. If you've been rocking me for more than once, shout out to you and welcome back. I'm excited to have y'all continue to come back the way y'all come back. I appreciate it. Shout out for the newbies that are in here. If you don't know who I am, y'all, I go by Zabo103. I'm the dude that actually get on these live platforms and information that you would normally pay for. If I knew it, you're getting it for free, at least for now, right? My only requirement in my live is to say to you all is, the only thing I require is you have to think, you have to research, and you have to take action. Let me just get one thing out of the way real quick because I get a bunch of DMs daily about this. And I know people, they may feel like, I don't care one way or the other, which I don't. But I do care. So let me not say I don't. But there are people out there right now that are creating fake accounts of me, right? And while I don't know whether to be flattered or annoyed by it, it ain't really nothing I can do about that, y'all. So for those of you that are sending me, DMs or comment up on a post that people got fake accounts, the only thing that you can do realistically is probably block them. Just know this, because one of the things that I've heard so far is that I guess whoever this person is, they're asking people for money. Y'all, I've been going live now for the last 92 weeks straight, and I haven't asked y'all for a dime. It might seem a little bit odd if I slide in your DM asking you for money. I'm just one of those people. I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to put it out there. It might seem a little bit odd that I'm going to slide in your DM and ask you for money. I want to make myself clear when I say that. So with that being said, know that it's not me. Tell that individual to go live and ask you for the money. Because I can assure you, if I ask you for a dime, I'm going live to ask for it. That way you ain't got no confusions. It ain't going to be through no Cash App because I ain't got no Cash App. It ain't going to be through, what was the other thing? Venmo, because I ain't got no Venmo. You're going to be going to a website that I own. Okay? Just so we clear, so we can go on and dispel all this stuff that's out there about this fake account that's out here asking y'all for money. Think, y'all. Just think. We got to start using common sense, y'all. We have to. I know it's a lost art, but we got to start using common sense, y'all. Something in your head said, I've been following Zabo for probably about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And he ain't never asked me for a dime. Today was your lucky day, right? Look, y'all, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. There's a lot of things that are going on currently right now today. It just is what it is. Well, you don't necessarily have to compare the followers and the viewers. Just use a little common sense. I've been going live for the last 92 weeks straight and haven't asked you for a dime. What make you believe I'm going to slide in your DM to ask you for money? It's just a thought. I'm not shy. I'm not too prideful. I'm the person, if I need something, I'm going to ask. It is what it is, y'all. So with that being said, and we got that out the way, hopefully we didn't cover all that for all the people that are going to say, you know, it's a person out there doing X, Y, Z. Did you create a new page? No, I ain't creating no new page. It's just that simple, y'all. But one of the things I wanted to touch on today, which falls in line with what I was just talking about, are these distractions. There are a ton of distractions that are going on currently right now. And while I know it's hard to not fall into these distractions, at some point you got to understand that, again, you are the product. You're the consumer. You're the consumer of all these distractions. I don't like talking about politics, so I stay off of that conversation because, you know, I'm not qualified to talk about it. It just is what it is, y'all. I know my lane and I stay in my lane. But I am a person that uses common sense. And before I say this, this is a safe place and everybody's welcome and I'm on here just showing love. That's it. But I always ask questions because I be want to know. Is that why my phone cut off? Somebody coming in? Oh, I'm like, where are they going? But I always ask questions. Let me see if she gets help. Hold on a second. Oh, there she needs help. All right, well, have fun. But I always ask questions and some of the questions that I ask because I be want to know the answer. People go in on me and tell me I gotta vote for Mr. Trump. Right? And I ask why. And they just tell me the reason why I shouldn't vote for the other side. And people went in on me about telling me about voting for Mr. President Biden. And I asked them why. And they tell me all the reasons why I shouldn't be voting for Trump. Doesn't that seem kind of odd? The scariest part about all this, and I'm going to ask some questions because I'm not qualified to have this conversation. That's why I'm asking questions because I don't know, and I don't claim to know. But when Mr. Trump went through what he went through, whether you believe it was staged or not, he went through it. The people that were on the other side of that didn't care whether or not he was safe or not. They were hell bent on it being a play. And I'm one of those people that's like, look, I hope everybody okay. I hope everybody's safe. Whether it was a play or not, I hope everybody involved was safe. To all my people on the other side telling me I need to vote for Biden, as y'all just heard, right? Recent news, he removed himself because he don't think he was fit. and the people that were around him didn't think he was fit. I want y'all to think about what I just said. Now, don't be mad at me when I say this because I'm just asking questions and I just want to understand. If he didn't think he was fit, so he removed himself, and the people around him didn't think he was fit, so they agreed to remove him, why were everybody pushing so hard to push somebody that they knew were unfit to be in that position? Now, I don't know what's right or wrong in this situation, and I don't have a dog in this fight either way, y'all. I'm just a person that's asking questions. But you got to make this stuff make sense to me. You just have to. The bottom line is this, y'all. And this is just me, a person that's not qualified to have this conversation, a person that don't really have a dog in this fight. And I'm going to continue to ask this same question every time somebody asks about these two different parties. Both of these parties have been in office. How has your life changed? How has your life changed? You've had Mr. Trump in the office for 4 years. You had Mr. Biden, aka Camilla, in office for 4 years. How has your life changed with any party being in office? It shouldn't be a war on who's right, who's wrong. It's the same bird, y'all. They're just on different wings. Both of them are in cahoots so the bird can fly. Both of them. Says made some good money when Trump was in office. Shout out to that. But here's the scary part about that, Sweet. Think about this for a second. Those same benefits that you had that when Mr. Trump was in office, you had it when Biden was in office too. You had it when Barack was in office. You had it when Bush was in office. You had it when Clinton was in office. You had it when Reagan was in office. The law didn't drastically change in that 4-year time frame. Y'all do understand that, right? Laws take time to have a real effect. Now I could be wrong. I don't know everything. Y'all can school me. I know you probably didn't, but that means you just didn't take advantage of them. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean. Trump went in office in 2016, right? Was that 2016? Yeah, in 2016 he went in office. From 2016 to 2000, that's when Trump was in office. Biden got in office in 2000, people. Y'all do know this stuff, right? In 2016, my eyes started to open. Now, I can't give Mr. Trump the credit for that. My eyes were going to open no matter who was in office. They started to open when Barack was going out. So it don't matter who in office. It didn't to me. I hope y'all understand what I just said. When Trump was in office, in his 4-year time frame, just me just being calling a spade, y'all, I got rich. I hope y'all hear what I just said. When Trump went in office, that time frame for them 4 years, I got rich. When Biden went into office, I got wealthy. Man, I didn't get wealthy because Biden went in office. I didn't get rich because Trump went in office. I got into those different situations, status, right? I got into those situations because I started looking at these agendas, and I started looking at how these agendas can impact me, no matter who's in office. I hope y'all just picked that up. It didn't matter. Much like 2024 to me, y'all. That's why I say ain't got no dog in the fight. Whoever wins, I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody is well. I hope they do right by people. I just hope. And whoever gets in office, when they get there, I hope you, as a law-abiding citizen, start following the law. When you start following the law, Rich looks like that. Okay. I mean, hey, I guess. When you start following the law, you'll start to understand that you just got to play the game. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But what I want people to understand, especially like people that I'm in contact with for the most part, I just want you to think. Just use some common sense. It's not. You are a consumer. The chief and the commander of this place where we in America, doesn't want to deplete its consumers to the point where they can't consume. They want to give you just enough so you can keep consuming. Let me ask you a question, because I saw this, and this was mind blowing. I saw these two people, and I don't even want to say this happened because it was bad, but they got into a real bad altercation. They got into a bad altercation, y'all. These two people. And it was over who they were voting for. And I was like stunned. I couldn't believe it. And, after we, broke up the altercation, and it was a bad altercation, y'all, about who people voting for. These two brothers were going at it till they came to a real altercation. And we had to break it up. And after they finished doing what they were doing, I didn't say we broke it. I should say they broke it up, because I let them do what they do. I mean, y'all figure it out. But after they calmed them down and set them down, I asked both of the young men, do y'all work a 9 to 5? Both of them work regular 9 to 5s. I said, what if one of y'all would have got so injured to the point that you couldn't go to work in the morning? How you going to feed your family? Is Mr. Trump going to help you feed your family? Is Mr. Biden going to help you feed your family? They don't even know you. They don't even know y'all got into this altercation. But let me ask you a question. You mad at him because he not voting the way you vote. And you mad at him because he not voting the way you vote. So anybody that be around you, they can't vote against you. They got to vote the exact same way you vote, or you going to have an issue with them, right? It's like, no, I ain't like that. He just, he just talking too much. He don't know what he's talking about. I have to ask the question. Your employer who pays you a paycheck that you paying them to pay you back, who is your company voting for? Not the employees at your job. Who's your company voting for? Tell me who Chase voting for. Tell me who Tesla voting for. Tell me who GM voting for. Tell me who AT&T voting for. Are you upset at your job if they're not voting the same way you vote? Not the people at your job, the company. Are the people at your company evil? Maybe the people are. Is your company evil? You know those wealthy people, y'all say real evil at the top when y'all, they talk about Trump and he's just wealthy and evil. Are the people, is your job, is Sprint evil? Not only do you work for them, you got their cell phone too. Is Walmart evil? You shopping there every day. What about Publix? What about Kroger's? I can keep going. You're going to fight everybody that don't agree with you. Think, y'all. This whole time, you just keep getting distracted with all these things on why you shouldn't vote for somebody. You don't even know the reason why you vote for the person you vote for. You can articulate it without criticizing the other side if you wanted to. And that's both parties. Imagine that. Imagine that for a second. Think. This is some super wild stuff, y'all. So why am I talking about this today? Because I know it's going to be a bunch of more distractions that are going to pop out. Whatever's on your timeline today is going to continue to distract you. What I want people to do, and I can't do nothing about it, I can't do nothing but focus on me. Me and my eyes. But people, if you're listening to this message tonight, get focused on your last name. Get focused on your last name. Stop fighting for other people's last name. You've been talking about all your life how you're going to create this generational wealth. No, you're not. You got that. You're going to continue to curse, unfortunately. And again, this is a safe place. Everybody's welcome. And I'm just showing love. But I got to say it. You ain't going to do nothing different than what you've been doing because you're not doing nothing different than what you've been doing. Oh, that's a scary thought. How you think you're going to change without changing? In order for you to change, you got to change. You ain't going to get no different results, y'all. There ain't a course that's going to come out that's going to change it. They ain't a networking event you can go to that's going to change it. There ain't nothing you can do that's going to change your outcome unless you do something different. Period. It just is what it is. That's a fact. You got to get in that mirror. That's a fact. You said that 100% right about that. That's a fact. But how does this stuff really affect you? Today I got up, and I got up around like 12:30, something like that. Hopped in the shower, rubbed up dub, safe place shower. Throwed on some clothes. My wife was at the office, so I said I was going to come up there with them for a little while. So I went up there and checked them out for a minute. And then I stayed there probably maybe an hour or so, and then I came back to the house, and I was just chilling, popped on social media a little bit. It was about 12:30 when I woke up. And then I came downstairs and popped on live. And that's pretty much how my week go, y'all. That's pretty much how my week go. I get online, I see a few things, and I say, yo, this is crazy. Now, could I have been fine working at Bank of America? I was there for 20 years. What's up, family? As an executive without a college degree, making a couple $100,000 a year, could I have been fine getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning, leaving out of the house by 6 a.m., fighting this Georgia traffic, 2 hour rush hour to get to work so I can get there by 8 a.m., go in there and deal with some of these people. Some of these people I don't like at all. Some of them, they cool. Going to a meeting, about a meeting, for another meeting, about another meeting. Lunchtime, going down, picking up something from the cafe, or because I ain't packed no lunch, I'm just going to go up here to Chick-fil-A. I'm going to go somewhere and grab something to eat, something that ain't going to be healthy for me. Get off at 5 o'clock, would not be get home to almost 7 because I got to fight 2 hour traffic to get home. Come home, speak to the kids, kiss the wife, eat some supper, watch some on TV. What's on these days? On Monday nights, it be what? Love and Hip Hop on. You know, they come on Love and Hip Hop, whatever it is. See if some type of sports on, WNBA, the Summer League, something going on. I don't know. Around 8 o'clock, tired, getting ready to go to bed because I got to get up in the morning. I would have been fine doing that. I did it for 20 years. I would have been perfectly fine doing that. But I woke up. I started using common sense. I started realizing the math in math. It didn't make logical sense. That's right, Love and Hip Hop. Watching Lil Scrappy put some paws on somebody. I don't know if that's a real thing no more. But imagine for a second if I would have let my education stop my education as a person that barely got a high school diploma. And just because you got a college degree, I'll say it to you again, don't let your education stop your education. Imagine if I would have let my education stop my education. And I want to just dream for more than what I was doing. Because again, I could have been comfortable making a couple $100,000 a year, hustling for a weekend. Hey, where y'all going? Where y'all going? Hold on a second, y'all. Where y'all about to go? All right, go ahead. No, you good. All right, where y'all going all that records? All right, see y'all in a minute. Y'all got excuse me. When you have kids in your house and they be driving, they just want to pop and go where they want to go. They better tell me they better tell me where they're going and what they're doing. Really? Kids, man. Can't live with them, can't live with them. You gotta love them, y'all. You gotta love them. But the point that I'm making is, and this, I couldn't plan this out that just happened. Y'all saw my kids just run down here, interrupt my live and they about to drive somewhere. Y'all saw that, right? I could make that up. The time right now is 5:50. I want y'all to understand this. If I was still at the bank, I wouldn't even be home yet to see what they doing. I'm gonna say that again. If I was still at the bank, I'll be on my way home in rush hour traffic. I wouldn't get here to 7. They'll be then left, went to where they need to go to, and came back before I even knew they were gone. And they not gonna tell me unless I ask. I get to experience these things, y'all. You know how crazy it feels as a person that got 6 kids? All my kids, for the most part, except for my baby boy, then saw me bust my butt at work, y'all. My baby boy ain't never seen me work a day in his life. I want y'all to think about that for a second. He ain't never seen his mama work. He ain't never seen his daddy work before. Think for a second about what I just said. You know how crazy it was, the feeling to see my baby boy take his first steps and then have to have a nanny or somebody at the daycare tell me he took his first steps? Him to say his first words? I can tell y'all today, this was probably some years ago now, when my son started writing and I was there watching him do it, and I didn't realize how he figured out how to write because I'm ignorant. I ain't teach him. Think, y'all. Think. If you haven't figured out, I know y'all looked at the title, you're like, what the heck is he talking about? 740,000 steps. 740,000 steps equate to, if I'm doing the math, you're doing about 10,000 steps a day. That's roughly about 73 and a half years on this planet. That's the average age. I need y'all to think. This stuff is way bigger than you. You got to stop being distracted by all these things and stay focused on what you need to stay focused on so you can accomplish what you need to accomplish so you can truly spend the time with the people that you say you care about and love the most. Because I promise you, time is going to tick regardless if you do or not. And you can't unring that bell. It just is what it is. It's interesting because we're finalizing the layout and everything that we got going. Me and my wife were talking earlier today, and she was like, "We're gonna put the stamp on what we want that estate to look like." We've been adding, changing, doing different stuff, and I'm like, "All right, we need to put that stamp on it because we're gonna build at the top of the year. We ain't got no choice. It is what it is. We rolling." So we putting that stamp on it, and it's interesting as you really start to really brainstorm with somebody that you care about and love the most on how you all can be congruent with each other if you give each other the time. The reason why, and I hate talking about this, relationship stuff, right? Where do you start? We'll talk about that in a second. I got you, for sure. The reason why I hate talking about relationships is simply because it's silly. If you just use common sense, you would know 2 is better than 1. That's the truth. I don't know another way around it, but that's the truth. But I don't like talking about it because every time you hear somebody talking about it, they ain't never been in no relationship. They'll tell you, if it's a man, I got a whole bunch of women. Okay, you in a real relationship. If it's a woman, well, I can have anybody I want. Okay, you ain't in no real relationship. It's always people that ain't in no relationship. And if you ask them how long you been married, just because I'm not married, that don't mean nothing. It means you're not married. What are you talking about? What's the point of getting in a relationship if you're not getting married? I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to make this make sense. When I think about all the single people, shout out to y'all, by the way, no disrespect to nobody, that preach that rhetoric, right? It's mind blowing. And here's why it's mind blowing to me. The same individual tell you need to vote for Trump. The same individual tell you need to vote for Biden. But you know when you're one, you have extra benefits, right? You do know that, right? You do know when you won, you have extra benefits that you don't have when you're just single. Let's go through some stuff, regardless if it's who's in office or not, and let's just see something for a second, right? Imagine you and your significant other sign, if I can't, I'm gonna say that again. You and your significant other sign, if I can't, decide to go on this journey to work for your last name and not your first. And y'all gonna put the pieces together so y'all can have wealth in y'all family for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Y'all decide to have y'all babies together. Y'all decide to stay together to build, because the longer you stay together, the longer you build. The reason why you can't build wealth is because you ain't got nobody to build it with. Uh-oh. Let's keep going. We in this apartment. We ain't had no kids yet, but we gotta have a house first before we have a kid and get the white picket fence and all this other stuff and live happily ever after. What happens when you make 6 figures a year? That's what you're bragging about. I make 6 figures a year. That's what I'm bragging about. I got an 800 credit score. You got an 800 credit score. Y'all got a little money in the bank. You got like 20, 30,000 in the bank a piece because y'all been doing a little something. Your 401k look decent. What happened when one of y'all decided to say, you know what we could do? I'm going to go buy a quadruplex. I still qualify for the first, the residential piece. It don't hit commercial till you get to 5. So I can go get me a quadruplex, and I'm only getting it in my name. And what we're going to do is we're going to live in one of them, and we're going to rent out the other 3. And then, baby, what you can do is, because you got the same thing I got, you going to go get you a quadruplex. And you're going to get that same benefit that I got because I was the first time buying a property. Your first time around buying a property. I'm going to get those little benefits. Now, when we go and going to jump that broom and we decide to go ahead and buy our own property, we ain't going to jump out there crazy and go buy a house and go get a crazy mortgage. What we going to do is we going to go buy us a piece of land. Baby, I found 10 acres of land over here. It's about 40 minutes outside of Atlanta. I was able to get these 10-acre land for 80 grand. Can you believe that? Man, we done found 10 acres for 80 grand. We own it, baby. These tenants gonna pay our mortgage and they're gonna give us a little bit of cash flow. We still got our job making money. I still got almost 30K in the bank. You still got 30K in the bank. It's just me and you right now, babe. So here's what we're gonna do, babe. We're gonna let these tenant pay. We're gonna stay in between your rental and my rental. We're gonna rent out the other 6 units to pay our mortgage. Now our rent that we were paying, we didn't put back in our pocket. We're gonna keep stacking this money. How long we gonna stack, baby? Let's give ourselves 5 years, babe. What we gonna do with that land for 5 years? We're gonna be all right. We're gonna leave it in conservation for that time frame. After that 5 years are up, we're gonna go and build on it. Why? Because it's gonna have to come out of conservation at some point. We ain't got no choice. 5 years are up. We done stacked somewhere around about 200 grand. What you think we gonna do? We gonna get prepared to build our estate on our property. Now we ain't building no massive estate for no 200 grand. It's just me and my wife. We newlyweds. All right, babe. We didn't pay for the blueprints. It looks good. It's gonna take us longer. Every time we get some money, we're gonna put it over there so we can keep building. Babe, we really need about another 100,000. If we can come up another 200, that'll be great. Babe, the value of my duplex then went up by 100 grand. See how much the value went up by? It went up by 150 grand. We can go get the 200,000 from the bank and let the tenants pay this back. I'm gonna go ahead and go get this equity line of credit on my duplex. I mean on my quadruplex. You go get yours on yours. Now we got 400 grand. We're gonna go ahead and build our estate that's paid for cash on our 10 acres. And now we got 8 rental properties. Now we can have some kids, y'all. Let's go and have these kids. We still working. We still doing what we doing. Now, could you do that by yourself? Sure. It'll just be cut in half. Could you do that by yourself? Sure. It'll just take you double the time. Think. This stuff is bigger than you and me. I know what they make marriage look like to the world, but that's not reality. That's not reality. Listen, people. If you're in a relationship with somebody, that's your girlfriend, that's your boyfriend, whatever the it is, y'all, you're acting like you're married without the benefits. Well, she just gonna take half, or he just gonna take half, or y'all working for y'all last name, not y'all first. The only reason most of the time when people go through marriages for the most part and they get taken to the bank and they take half of what you got because they want to be vindictive, it's because you ain't built, man. And that sucks. I know what you're gonna say. Nope, you see rich people get taken to the bank all the time and get half of their money. Let me ask y'all a question. Everybody that you know that be complaining about giving up half in this world, they be broke. They be poor. When Jeff Bezos and his wife got divorced, did you see him complaining? Did you see her complaining? I'm listening. Did you see it? Why not? Because when y'all both working for your last name and not your first, you're working to make sure both parties are good, no matter if you leave the planet or not. I hope y'all understand what I just said. It ain't got nothing to do with your complexion. It ain't got to do nothing to do with what party you're voting for. It ain't got nothing to do with genetics. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. It got something to do with you as a person. If you don't understand is the world is designed to keep you single, then you missed it. It's more beneficial for you to stay single in this country than it is for you to be married. Why? Because if I keep y'all separate, y'all got two households y'all got to pay for. Y'all got two light bills y'all got to pay for. Two grocery bills you got to pay for. Extra gas you got to pay for. Extra night outs you got to pay for. If they keep, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. This is why I don't like talking about relationships, y'all. It's dumb. And so many people fall into the rabbit hole of you need to go get you a man that look like this. You need to go get you a woman that does this. And you need to go, shut up. You don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. Man. I'm gonna get off of this stuff because I don't like talking about it. I know it's a sensitive topic for folks. And again, I'm just on here showing love, people. This is a safe place and everybody welcome. I'm just trying to tell you, the longer you keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe, the longer you're gonna have that banana in your tailpipe. And the real reality of it is this: you ain't gonna win. I hope that you do, but you ain't gonna win. A couple of lives ago, I had a young man ask me, do you and your wife go 50-50 on bills? And I couldn't ever laugh. I don't go no 50-50 on bill. We go hard on everything. What do you mean 50-50? That don't even sound right. How you a grown man asking do you go 50-50? And how we going 50-50 on anything when we ain't got no bills? Tell me what we going 50-50 on. That's the part that really be the head scratchers. What are y'all going? Why y'all fighting over this 50-50 thing? Over some bills? See, that's that poor person talking. Poor people believe the primary use of money is to pay bills. Wealthy people understand the only use of money is to make money. When there's nothing to go 50-50 on, what are we talking about? Well, you got bills and you do this and you do that. Really? Is that how that works? I know money ain't real. I know the only purpose of money is for public use and private use. I'm going to say that again. I know the only purpose of money, the use of it, is for public use and private use. I know that. So when you hear me say, I don't have no bills, I ain't got no electricity bill. I ain't got no car payment. I ain't got no gas bill. I ain't got no food bill. I ain't got no. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. I'm not saying, hey, when you're debt free, that's it. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I ain't got no bills. I hope you heard what I just said. Fellas, if you having a hard time finding the right one, man, I hate to say this because this is going to sound harsh. Remember, y'all, I'm coming from a place of love. This is a safe place, and everybody welcome. So let me say this with love and care, fellas. If you having a hard time finding the right one, you got to become the right one. Ladies, if you having a hard time finding the right one, I'm sorry. You got to become the right one. I can I can't give you advice on how to find what you're looking for because the reality of it is I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted somebody that was going to see me working for my last name and not my first. And they were willing to work for their last name and not their first. When I saw my wife and I saw that she was working for her last name and not her first, I said to myself, she see me working for my last name, not my first. I see her working for her last name, not her first. I just need to make her last name mine. And we will both be working for our last name, not our first. It wasn't that complicated. When I got on my journey and I was working for my last name, not my first, a lot of women that went right for me, they were intimidated by me. I hope y'all understand what I just said. I knew men was intimidated by my wife because they know she wasn't playing. She was serious about working for her last name, not her first. The same way I was serious about working for my last name, not my first. It didn't take me 20 years to say, all right, babe, we've been together for 20 years. I'm out, we're going to marry you now. I wanted someone that was willing to fight for their last name. I hope people understand that. Now, I don't do no classes thing. I do got my team working on some courses though. I might pop out some classes. I don't know. But don't get it twisted, y'all. That doesn't make me perfect. That don't make my wife perfect. Relationships happen, y'all. When are you ever around somebody you agree with 100% of the time? That's a real question, right? Well, let's look at this. If me and my wife disagree on something today, you know how we decide who's going to move forward with what we're going to roll with? Not just me because I'm the man, not just her because she's the woman. We look at how it's going to impact our great grandkids. If the impact is not one, if it's not going to have an impact on our great grandkids, we can just X that out the plan. If it is going to have a great impact on our great grandkids, then we got to see which one is going to have the better impact. And we talk through it. And whichever one of us is going to, our ideology is going to have the better impact on our great grandkids, that's who we decide to roll with. Sometimes I win, sometimes she wins. In the end, we both win because we're putting ourselves in a position to have a win-win, people. And again, we're not perfect. And being that we're not perfect, life gonna life, y'all. But the difference is, I figured out how to give unconditional love to the people that I care about and love the most. And my wife ain't never really said this out loud before, but she's shown unconditional love to the people that she care about and love the most. So what does that mean, boys and girls? It ain't nothing that we can do that's going to change that. It ain't a condition that can be put in place. And every time I say that, you have people, what if your wife stepped out on you? What if you stepped out on your wife? What if your wife did this? What if your wife did that? It don't matter. Now, I believe in my heart that none of those things will ever happen, but the reality of it is, it don't matter. Because what I understand is that woman is fighting hard for her last name, and I'm fighting hard for my last name. Almost 1 million followers between all these platforms for me. 85%, and ladies, that number been dropping down. A lot of fellas been hopping on my lives now and hopping, following me and stuff. So I think that's dope too, right? 85% of my audience is women. You ain't ever gonna catch me sliding their DM. I refuse to take 5 minutes of fun, to take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years worth of wealth out of my bloodline mouth. I just can't do it. When I was a young whippersnapper, young and ignorant, had I had a glimpse of this back then, I'd have been better. But as a person that's been on this planet for 47 years, I know the juice ain't worth the squeeze. Not even close. I don't care what it is. Because I'm fighting for something bigger. I'm trying to get out of this curse that's been on my family for so long. I can't allow it to do something different than what I didn't broke it from, because I know it's only one person in my bloodline that can change it, and that one person was me. I hope y'all just understand what I just said. There's only one person in your bloodline that can change it. It might not be you, and that's okay too. But if it is you, you got a responsibility. You got to make that sacrifice. You can't be that person that keeps saying, man, I'm gonna start next week trying to figure out how to get my business off the ground. Man, I know I need to do this thing with this life insurance policy, but I don't know. Man, I know I want to get this land, but I'm so scared. It ain't gonna matter, y'all. If you're not the one person in your bloodline, and there is one person in your bloodline that you can see it in them and they haven't started, move out the way and let them do what they do. Think. My older brother, I talk about my older brother a lot. My older brother's like my dad. And I only got one brother. He's a year older than me. When little brother came through and started doing this stuff, look, big brother said, he, I, I don't know where his wisdom come from, but he's a wise dude, man. That dude said, little bro, you teaching me some stuff, little bro, I'm gonna move out the way. I'm still gonna guide you where I need to guide you, little bro, but show me what I need to do, bro. Imagine this man raised me like you ain't missing no days of school. I hope you understand what I said. And he's a year older than me, y'all. I want to put this in perspective. Think. Life gonna life regardless if you like it or not. What's up, family? It just is. You got to make a decision to do something different. Now, if we was in the church right now, I would say the doors are open. Come on down. Well, I ain't gonna do that though. I ain't gonna play like that. But y'all understand what I'm saying to you. Today is not about can you outshine the next person that you don't like, proving somebody else wrong. That's not what today is about, y'all. Today is really about you making a decision. Notice I didn't say make a choice. I said make a decision. When you make a decision, right? When you make a decision, what I will tell you is your life will change. It just will. Here's what I learned, right? And I share this story, and I'm going to talk about how y'all can do some of this stuff, right? But in my life, I how can I say this? I've seen a lot. Not everything. I ain't seen everything, but I've seen a lot. And one of the things that I'm grateful that I survived through all this stuff, right? But I'm grateful that I was able to see real fear. I'm grateful of that. Oh, that's where y'all went. Okay, cool. I guess I'll be up in a minute. But I'm very grateful that I was able to experience real fear. Why am I saying that? As a grown man, right? These things that people have fear about, I don't have those fears. I don't have no fear about going out starting no business. I don't have fear about going out trying something new because I've seen real fear. That just is what it is, y'all. But one thing that always stuck with me and I always seen and I've always said throughout my life, and I'm saying it again today, we all, regardless of what you believe in or believe in, right? We all are put on this planet to serve. Now, I don't know how to, I don't know how to really articulate that in a different way. Appreciate your family. But we all here to serve. Tell them close that door. Hey, y'all, close that door. Close that door. Close that door. Thank you. My bad. Sometimes I have to be pop-up. I'm like so loud I can't hear myself think. But we here to serve people, y'all. And what's crazy about that concept is when you serve people, right? People will bless you. Now, I'm not talking about going out begging. I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about, when I'm talking about serving, I'm talking about you're put on this planet to solve other people's problems. You're not put on this planet to solve your own problems, even though you should solve your own problems, right? But you're not put on this planet for real to solve your own problems. You're put on this planet to solve other people's problems. And as you're solving other people's problems, people will bless you. I hope y'all understand that. The more problems you can solve for people, the more blessings you'll have. That's the truth. I can't make that up if I wanted to. So what does that mean for you? Think about the biggest problem you ever had in your life. Once you have thought about that biggest problem that you had, notice I said had, in your life, how did you solve it? How did you solve that problem? If you came up with a real solution for that problem and you truly solved it, now you got to go back to what my mama said. In every problem, there's a profit. If you take your problems that you had and you saw that you went through it and you executed in a way where you were able to solve these problems for other people, they will bless you. Let me give you an example. How many people in the chat, put a me in the chat if you had a problem right now today, and it's been a problem for the last 10 years of your life, and a person told you, I'm gonna charge you $100 to solve your problem, would you do it? Would you pay that $100 to solve your problem? You probably would. You got a major problem. How I know you will do it? If you're not a plumber and one of your pipes bursts in your house and you need a plumber to come in, don't you pay that plumber to come in and solve your problem? When you don't have a place to live and you got money for rent, but you don't have a place to live, don't you pay that landlord or that mortgage company so you can have a place to live, so you can solve that problem? You about to run out of gas. And you, man, I wish I had me a cyber truck. I ain't got no cyber truck. I'm riding around this Honda Accord. Man, I gotta go to the gas. What do? You don't want to buy that high gas, but you go to the gas station because they solving your problem. I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna preach. I ain't gonna preach tonight. What I am gonna say is you gotta become a problem solver. You can't figure out how to get out of your rat race because you haven't figured out how to package up the problems that you've solved. Well, you don't necessarily need money to solve problems. Think of it this way. When you called the plumber to come fix that pipe at your house, that plumber didn't come with no money. They came with a service that they provided to you. They came with a service that they provided to you. They ain't come to you with no money. You had the money. You paid them. Let's take it a step further than that. Some of y'all on here, realistically, and I know this is going to sound bad for me to say it because I've always said I'm going to talk a little bit out of both sides of my neck, right? Watch this. Watch this. Some of y'all know how to fix your credit. How much money would it cost you to start a credit repair business? Just curious. Probably not that much money. Let's go a step deeper than that. Some of y'all are good at educating people because y'all are teachers. Right? I want to put that in perspective. How much would it cost you to get on Zoom to be an after-school tutor for kids in math, reading, science, whatever the course they got going on? It won't cost you much of nothing. You already got the internet. I think with Zoom, you can get on Zoom probably for free at this point. A little or nothing. You can't do it that way? Oh, we gonna FaceTime. You paying the phone bill anyway. I don't need a whole class, one student at a time. How many people can be on FaceTime now? 4 people? Think. This stuff ain't that complicated, y'all. How much it costs to start your YouTube? If you went on YouTube right now and start showing people how to fix their credit for free because you know how to do it, you get your 1,000 subscribers and your 4,000 watch hours so you can go on and monetize. Now you can just upload stuff there once a week because you at the little pace you want to. You can go live every so often, answer some questions. Don't cost you a dime. Did y'all know there's a thing out there called pre-orders? Put a one in the chat if you ever heard of a pre-order before, meaning that you're going to buy it and it's going to take a little bit of time before you get it. So you telling me I can get my little business set up for about less than $200, website built out. What's up, family? Set up the website with some stock pictures and let everybody know I got pre-orders going on of the product that I'm selling them. People are going to buy it. It's going to take you 30 days to get it. Now, you already worked everything out with the people you need to work it out with, and you don't take you a week and a half to get what you need to get from them. But they're going to buy it. Once you sold 100 orders, which would be just like that, guess what will happen, boys and girls? Not only do you have enough to buy the orders so people can get their orders, you have enough to buy additional stuff so people can start shopping with you and a profit. You didn't spend no money. Think. This stuff ain't that complicated, y'all. This stuff ain't that complicated, y'all. You just got to move with intentions. You got to start making this stuff make sense. But see, when you at home by yourself and you thinking too hard, right? You're like, man, I'm tired of thinking, man, I'm going to go and do this. But when you got that significant other working for their last name, not their first, just like you are, when you get tired, your significant other sign, if I can't, what they say, babe, we got to keep pushing. When your significant other like, babe, I want to go do that, like, babe, we got to keep pushing. All this stuff matters, y'all. So look, y'all, I'm going to wrap up with this. I know we talk about where you start, where you start, where you start, where you start. Start in the mirror. Start asking yourself what you really want. If you already married, you got a significant other sign, if I can't, still you go in the mirror, have your significant other go in the mirror, and ask, what do I really want? Let your spouse do the same thing, you do the same thing. When y'all both come to the conclusion what y'all want, y'all come and talk to each other about what y'all want. If they are two completely separate things, work on a plan so y'all can get both. Work on a plan so y'all can get both. There, well, I need to do mine first and you can do yours later. No, we're working on both. Got to figure out how to start? Well, watch this. What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? Whatever it is you do for a living, that's where you start. Whatever it is that you do for a living right now, that's where you start. Okay. So think about that for a second. You drive trucks. What's the 740,000 steps? 73 and a half years. Okay. Watch this. Do you own the truck that you drive? The truck that you currently drive, do you own it? Great. The company that you're driving for, do you own that company? We're going to keep going through these steps because you might be further than what you think. Okay. The contracts that you get for your routes, do you own that process? I don't know a lot about truck driving and stuff, but you can keep me honest because that's your field. Okay. So if you don't own that process, I'm assuming that's dispatch, right? That are getting the contracts for you. How do you own that? How can you start to own that process? You already know that business like the back of your hand. Your spouse might do something different. You get the contracts? Okay, cool. So if you're getting the contracts already, there's not a in-between person that's getting the contract. You're in a perfect position. The position is this. I know how to get these contracts. I also drive trucks. I need to duplicate myself. Can I afford to buy another truck? I can't. Can I hire other drivers that already have their own trucks and let them work for my companies? I'll get the contracts and they'll drive for my contracts until they get into a position doing what they're doing. But by then, I'll be made the money I need to make to add more trucks to the equation. I get it. But it's not that hard as you think. And the reason why I'm saying it's not that hard is because you are already doing it. What would it have taken for you when you very first started out, having a truck, not knowing how to get contracts in order to go work for another company? I can tell you, and I already said it out the gate, and you already know this out the gate. If you don't know how to get the contracts yourself and you're looking for work as a trucker, I get it. So what I would say to you is simply this. There are a ton of people out there in that same boat still. Even though people are more savvy now and people doing all these things, there are a ton of people out there that are still have no clue how to get a contract. They just don't know. They don't have a clue. So what am I saying? You got to start where you at. That's number one. Number two, when you get your money, and I know I say this a lot, whatever business you're doing, it still need to only be going to three places. Basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy you can afford, and land. And that's going to take time to accomplish that process, but it's a process. But I can assure you, there are a ton of people out here that have their own trucks and they don't have a clue how to get a contract. And it sucks. Because everybody's starting somewhere. There are a ton of people out there that are doing a lot of different things that realistically, it sucks. Here's something else. I just thought about something. Maybe, a little bit more trust come in. Maybe it's a bigger insurance on the truck that you have. I don't know. But what happens if you gave your time back to yourself? What happened if you gave your time back to yourself? I'm gonna give you an example. As a trucker, I gotta imagine you do a lot of driving. And I gotta imagine a lot of people don't like driving long distance these days. I gotta imagine it. A lot of people trying to be at home. Right? And I could be wrong. What happened if you found the truck driver that don't own their own truck already and you create the loyalty that you need from them, right? By doing this. You going to get the contract, right? You hire a truck driver that don't have their own truck, let them drive your truck, aka now they're your employee. And you take that time that you didn't got back for yourself to figure out A, how to get more contracts, B, how to figure out how you can come up with another truck possibly. But giving yourself that time back will give you time to think about other things that you may not have thought about that's in your field already. It's just a thought. I'm just throwing stuff out there because, like I said, I don't know a lot about it. People don't know how to drive manual. You got to find somebody how to do that then. You might be right about that. I learned how to drive when I very first started driving on a manual. That's kind of funny. Not that many gears though. That's a lot. But 5 speed, anything above 5, I'm like, 6 maybe. But something to think about. I get it. I get it. But it might not be a bad thing to get your time back. Because if you can figure out how to get to some of these different situations where you can get trucks, I don't know if they have auctions for trucks where you might be able to catch you a deal on a truck. I don't know if they have, they be having those police auctions sometime. They be having rigs and stuff like that. You gotta think through it. Because it sounds like you're a lot further than where you think you are. You just need time to sit down and think. That's what it sounds like. And I could be wrong, but that's what I'm sensing. So, like I said, y'all, I'm gonna be on here too long tonight, but I wanted to pop on here real quick. Govdeals.com. Is that like a website for okay, cool. I bet. He said gov govdeals.com. Let's see what that is. Check it out. Have a wrong way of spending. I get that too. I get that. But it's okay. It takes time. You just got to get over the process. So look, y'all, I know I've been on here for a while tonight. I've been on here for a little bit over an hour. I ain't want to be here that long. Plus, I got to get ready to go upstairs and kick it with the kids and stuff. They all back now. But if tonight you found anything I said to be what most powerful, it got you motivated, it got you hyped for any reason, do me a favor. Go out there and research this stuff, y'all. Go research this stuff. If you find, after you've done your research, that this stuff is halfway legit, apply it in your life. I promise you your future self will thank you. In the meantime, look, y'all be good. I have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all